Hello, welcome to Brandex Reviews. This one we're going to be talking about physical media and just some general memories of back in the day when you used to own movies and people would like to borrow them and not give them back, and also some of the woes that we had with video rentals. So enjoy. Hello and welcome to Brandex Reviews. Today we have The Core.
Yes.
So for this one, it's another basic video talking about, because we're talking about physical media in the last video. I had to take that video down because it had like 7 views. It just got throttled on YouTube. But we're talking about physical media anyway. And
yeah, I'm going to have to be very careful. Like, that very much annoys me. I am quite upset about things.
Well, yeah, you're not able to swear basically because that's that. But yeah, point is, so we're talking about physical media in the last video, and one kind of aspect of it that we've not really talked about before, something a lot of people will have forgotten about. When you were a physical media collector back in the day, as some of us still are, like myself, a lot of people would just rely on you to use you as their video library rental place where they could just rent stuff for free because you bought it, and they think, well, I could just go around to their house and borrow it. So, for example, I know when I was a kid, my mother used to buy a lot of like movies. You know, we have like all the great ones like Terminator, Die Hard, the Alien movies, and we recorded a lot of stuff off TV and off Sky as well, because we knew somebody who had Sky and they used to record stuff for us. So we'd get a lot of people that knew we had this good video collection just like rocking up at the house going, "Ooh, can I borrow a film?" It's like, no, because a lot of the time you really struggle to get these things back from people. It's like they were really keen to borrow, but they weren't as keen to give stuff back. Obviously, that's a concept that can apply for a lot of things, but particularly when it came to movies, it was such a pain in the arse back when the only option was physical media. So in some ways, as much as we talk about streaming and how it's kind of shook things up quite a lot in terms of like owning movies and so on, at the same time, it has its benefits. So
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, Joseph. I own like every film I have.
Well, yeah, you've never lost any to any thieves or anything, have you? But
No, I mean, I own it on Netflix. I own it on Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, well, can you sell it then?
What? I mean, right.
Yeah, exactly.
I can still lend you my my account details.
Oh yeah, that works. I'll look forward to browsing through your purchase history as well, which I'm sure you won't have anything to hide there, so that'll be okay.
Oh, by Jove, I do not like that concept.
Yeah. What we're saying there is,
gosh.
yeah, because the point is, somebody we sometimes argue with will seem to think that streaming is like infinitely better than physical media, and anything that physical media gives you, streaming also gives you the option as well, which clearly it doesn't, on a number of levels in terms of quality and portability. And I mean, there's some trade-off options when it comes to portability, but at the same time, you can't just take a movie out of somebody's house if they've not got a smart TV or whatever. Quite a few households that I know are like that.
Or just the general thing of, well, the internet's out for some reason.
Yeah, which happens.
I guess I'll just go watch a film.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear, I guess I will not watch a film because I can't let a line to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then there's like censorship. There's all sorts of other things. But the point is, obviously, the drawback back in the day when it came to having movies on tape, and especially when I was a kid, because you friends from school would want to borrow stuff, and you just wouldn't get it back, and you really had to go out of your way to like get these things back if you could get it back at all. There's also like movie rentals as well. Didn't you? You rented something, and I don't know, the TOFA and physical media, something very very tricky there. If he's not stealing your DVDs, this is pre DVD era. What was it that the TOFA did to you?
It was a very old Jackie Chan film, Rumble in the Bronx. And like this is something you would definitely do back in the day. Like if you were like poor kids still at school and didn't have like any income because you just got dinner money and stuff. Like it wasn't that unusual to go like halves on like renting something. The idea being like, oh, I'll watch it and then I'll give it to you. You watch it and then you like return it to the store, like within the rental window, so you don't incur any late charges. Unless you're the TOFA, in which case, like we were supposed to meet up on a Saturday and like, basically hand it over. So like I'd be able to watch it before I take it back to like Plaza. And I think I've been running late. And now, to be fair to TOFA, I was running late. And basically being the petulant little person that he was, he decided, oh, right, well, I'm not going to wait. Because we were meeting up at the paper shop. And, yeah, the idiot had just wandered off. So I went uptown for nothing, basically. Like, I didn't get my a chance to watch Rumble in the Bronx. And I assumed, you would, that, oh, well, he's taking it back to the rental store, right? Found out, over a week later, no, he had not taken it back. He hadn't thought to bring it into, school and, hand it over to me or anything. He just kept it for a full week and then decided he was going to take it back. And he got really, really petulant, as he's wont to do. Because I was like, TOFA, don't be daft. You can't, ask for, change. Just drop the tenner, drop the thing and run. Don't be an idiot. And he was like, oh, really petulant because he wanted to, buy sweets or something with the rest of his damn money. And I said, this wasn't we were 12 or something. We're in our teens. You should understand how money works by that point, at least to some degree. Because back in the day, basically, if you have never rented something, if you didn't take it back on time, every single day, you get hit by the late charge again.
Yeah.
A full week of late charges would be 20, 30 quid or so. It would be ridiculous by that point. Because it was every single day, it would be the full price as if you'd rented it anew.
Well, yeah, and it'd be a few pounds at a time, a few pounds a day. I was laughing with something.
Yeah. And I say, just the idiot. I was absolutely gobsmacked at the time. So it's you could have just handed it over to me at school. We're in secondary school. You just hand it over to me. I would have been annoyed with you, but I would have taken it back because I lived right near to Plaza at the time.
Yeah.
But like I say, he kept hold of it for a week. Hadn't told me. This was on my account as well.
Yeah, that's the point.
So I was the one that was technically in the shit for late fees.
Yeah. It's funny though, I'm obviously talking about something that happened to you as a kid, and it's a really minor story 30 years after the fact. At the time it was a pain in the ass. But the fact, it's just funny that you remember these stories in as much detail, just like I do. I've got loads of stories like that where you just remember these things. You never forgive and you never forget from when you were a kid. So I just thought it'd be quite.
Like I say, it's pocket change now, but at the time it's I got a couple of quid for dinner money, and that was it. I would maybe mow a lawn or something for my gran for a little bit extra.
Yeah,
I did not have enough money to pay a week's worth of late fees on a film I hadn't even seen.
Yeah,
all because TOFA was a petulant idiot.
Yeah, well, this is what I mean when it comes to physical media. There's always these little stories that were just a pain in the arse. But the number of times I've had...
I don't think people nowadays just even understand what it was like having to go to a video store to rent something. Like, it's just one of those things I think you just, like, mention to people and they would just look at you blankly like a teenager nowadays and be just like, what the hell are you even talking about?
Yeah, and there was also the issue as well where when movies, especially when it was a popular movie that had like just been released. So this would be a situation where a movie would come out of the cinema, and a lot of the time there was a big window, the cinema window. I mean, it would even still be playing, but you'd have this like really long gap, sometimes a year, where a movie that you saw a year ago, you haven't had a chance to like rewatch it again. And if you're like a film fanatic and it's something that you like really love, you know, if, as soon as you have it, you probably watch it like 3 times in a week or something. You just wouldn't have that choice. So you'd see this film and then you wouldn't see the light of day again for like another maybe year or so until you could own it. But before that, you could rent. So maybe after about 6 months of the cinema release, you'd be able to rent the film, but you wouldn't be able to own it. So every time you want to buy it, you have to faff around going to a video library, rental place, and then pay money to rent it. Like again, it's a subscription-based business model or whatever. Keeps you like coming back rather than owning it and just being able to watch it at your own leisure. So in terms of that, you'd have films, and especially when they, as I say, when they first get released, there's a lot of demand for them as well. So you'd go to the video rental, and was it you were saying when we were kind of talking about this before we were recording about they'd advertise a movie and you'd get there and the whole shelf would be like completely empty.
Yeah, it'd be like Batman Returns or something. Like, I really want to see this. I mean, you may not even been able to get to the cinema to see it in the first place because that's also not a given. Like when you're young and you don't have like a regular income or like the resources to do that.
Or the movie might have been a
certificate
above you.
You'd get to see it, and you'd go there and they'd have like a massive like shelf full of them, like 20, 30 copies. So you're like, oh well, surely I can get a decent window on watching this. It's not going to be like months and months before I can damn well see this. But it's like, out of all the boxes that have like maybe actually 3 tapes or something.
Yeah. Well, I remember as well, there were certain other things, not just video rental. I can remember the date. It's quite easy to remember. It was August 29th, 1997. And the reason I remember that is because that date might sound familiar. It's not just 2 days before Princess Diana was assassinated, before she died in a car accident on the 31st of August. 29th of August, 1997 was Judgment Day from Terminator. And in the UK, that film got the director's cut release on videotape, and that was the first time in the UK that we got to see that. I think it aired on TV, weirdly enough, because I'd seen it prior to on TV, but it was like all censored out, so you had like extra scenes, but like no swearing. It was weird. But the very, very proud of this like videotape release of the director's cut on the day of Judgment Day, August 29th, 1997. And it was advertised that it would be released that day. But that day was a Friday. And there's only one shop that I knew of in advance that was selling it. And that was from in a different town, basically. It was a shop called Our Price, which was like... they did like music and so on. It's a bit like a HMV today, but like smaller scale. And they'd advertised it, so I made my way all the way over there. Luckily, it was during the summer holiday. Obviously, it was in August, and just to be told, "Oh, we haven't got it in today. We don't get deliveries until Monday." It's like you advertised it as like you've got literally the board advertising it there saying available August 29th. So that was a complete bust. Luckily, Buff, friend of the channel, friend of ours, and friend at the time. His mum knew there was a different town that she just bizarre coincidence seen it in a Woolworths there that day, so she like drove me there. I was a kid, so my own mother wouldn't do stuff like that for me. But Buff's mum was really nice and really accommodating. So Buff, if you're watching this, tell your mum thanks, because I still remember that to this day. So I mean, these stories from when you're kids about like physical media and tapes and stuff, it's kind of lost now. I don't know if there will be any equivalents in terms of like streaming. Like, oh God, 30 years ago I lost my password, or something like that. So yeah, all fun stuff. I think the video's dragging on a little bit. Any more examples?
Like I say, I don't have your quite the same experience with like lending stuff out and never getting it back beyond like the Topher incident, which was just blatant theft.
Oh yeah,
But I do remember, like, you were not exaggerating. I remember, like, you were like really like, if you tried to borrow anything off you, you were really like funny about it because you were that like traumatized by
experience.
You had so many people like mess with you,
screwing me over, yeah.
To the point of like, even now, if you're like, oh, I can lend you such and such, I'm usually like, no, it's all right, but I'll wait.
Yeah. Oh, do you mean like when the thieving happened with the Topher?
No, I just mean before, like when I was borrowing like stuff like the X-Files off you. Like I say, I can clearly remember you being like very traumatized by like friends who'd borrowed stuff and just never brought it back.
Yeah, well, I won't bother about you because obviously I'm regular contact with you. But a lot of people, especially when they live like quite far away as well, like in another town or something, it's not like you can just go around the house and get it back. You're kind of at the mercy of them bringing it back to you. And if it's somebody that you kind of lose contact with, and I've had a number of times where I've just people just borrowed stuff, and you just don't get it back, and you kind of end up in a position where you lose contact with them, and it's just like it's not even worth chasing up at this point. I just have to buy the thing again. So yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting video. And I was talking about woes and so on of physical media memories and so on. Like I say, it's funny when it's stories from your childhood as well. You can still remember. It's kind of sad. I'll be the first one to admit it. Anyway,
so, I mean, like you're saying with our price, like we still have like HMV, but like I don't think anybody's going to understand like going to a Virgin megastore to get like the latest thing.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was like a really good experience back in the day, whereas now HMV is just somewhere that you go just to kind of fill a bit of time while you're in a city where there is one, because they tend to have them in the cities, don't they? Anyway, we've run out of time, so I'll call it a day there, Bronix Reviews, and hopefully this gets more views than the last one did. But yeah, cool. Thank you very much for watching.
That's what we're reading, like a stupid article of okay, Starmer needs to like confront Bush. Not but Trump. Bush, and get him like talking about like a Palestinian state and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, why would he listen to Keir Starmer of all people?
Well, yeah.